Police in Rock County are trying to figure out what led up to a deadly shooting, putting 5 people in the hospital. Plus, a story of success years in the making. We'll show you how it happened as we wrap up Call for Action Week. And a member of the MMSD school board is concerned for teachers after finding out they have to use their own paid time off while quarantining for COVID. News 3 Now at 6 begins right now. Well, good evening and thanks for having us in. We're going to begin with the winter storm that's moving through the state tonight. Some of you could see some snow while others are looking at rain, at least for now. Let's check your certified most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Brady, I think you're absolutely right. For now, I think everybody will end up with snow before it's all said and done. But right now, most of the snow is north of Madison, where there are rain and even a few thunderstorms south of Madison. In fact, we've got a winter storm on one side of the storm and severe weather down to the south. Yes, that is a tornado watch into parts of central Illinois for tonight. So that just shows you the type of storm system that we're dealing with. Now, as we zoom into southern Wisconsin, there's a little bit of a lull southwest of Madison, but the next batch of showers is moving in. North of Madison, it's been snowing pretty steadily from about the Dells northward. Visibility right now down to a half mile in Camp Douglas and moderate snow. Same thing with Black River Falls, 3/4 mile visibility in La Crosse. Temperatures right now just above freezing here in Madison, so it's a cold rain, but you get to the Dells, they're at 31, Camp Douglas at 30, La Crosse 32, so you can kind of tell where the snow is. That's the area that's more likely to see the heavier snow accumulations because much of the precipitation will be in the form of snow there, perhaps 3 to 6 inches north of the Dells and maybe a little bit more in far northern portions of Juneau and Adams counties, or 1 to perhaps as much as 2 or 3 inches around the Madison area, depending on how long the snow lasts tomorrow morning. And south and east of Madison, not much in the way of snow. There also could be some freezing rain, giving some light ice accumulations. So winter weather advisories are in effect until noon tomorrow for areas north of the Wisconsin River and north of Dane County. Here in Madison, look for temperatures in the upper 30s tonight. We'll drop to around 30 by tomorrow morning as precipitation changes over to snow with maybe a little sleet or freezing rain in between. And by tomorrow afternoon, we clear out and it turns windy and cold with a high of 34. A big warm-up is on the way for next week. I'll have more on that in the forecast.
Thank you, Gary. 1 person is dead and 5 more are injured in Beloit after a fight turned into a deadly shooting last night. 2 of those people are still in the hospital. Police say everyone involved in the incident is from the greater Beloit area. Well, so far there have been no charges or arrests made in connection to the shooting. According to police, it will take a long time to figure out exactly what happened.
There were numerous firearms recovered at the scene. But we're not going to say for sure exactly what it was until we have a chance to process everything that's there and talk to each of the individuals that can.
Everyone involved was between 17 and 23. One of the people hurt is now being treated at the UW Hospital in Madison. If you have any information on what happened, please call the Rock County Sheriff's Department. A Dane County Sheriff's deputy was injured while arresting a woman who was driving erratically. The deputy sheriff attempted to pull the woman over in the town of Pleasant Springs. As the woman tried to get away, her vehicle hit the squad car twice. Well, that led to a chase for nearly 4 miles. That's when the woman then stopped her vehicle, got out, and approached the deputy. She was arrested, but struggled during it, injuring the deputy. He received treatment at a hospital before being released. The woman now faces multiple charges, including driving while intoxicated and injuring a law enforcement officer while resisting arrest. 4 people are okay and 2 cats are back safely with their owner after a house fire in Sun Prairie this morning. The home, though, suffered severe damage. Dane County dispatchers were called at about 6:30. It happened on Kelvington Drive. That's on Sun Prairie's far west side. The fire started in the attic and was active for 30 minutes. 4 people were also inside at the time. All made it out safe, though. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. A judge is delaying any action in a lawsuit seeking to force the mayors of Madison and Green Bay to face jail or sit for depositions with Michael Gableman. They're scheduled to meet again January 21st. Gableman was hired by Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Voss to investigate the 2020 election. Attorneys for both mayors said their offices had been in touch with Gableman in October, and with the understanding was Gableman was not seeking interviews immediately with them.
They failed to appear at the designated date for their depositions. They offered no excuses for their failure to appear. And so the special counsel is now pursuing a remedy to attempt to get these people to appear at these scheduled depositions.
It is kind of rich for Mr. Scott to complain that we didn't notify him it's the incorrect email address for the city attorney when we had repeatedly told them not to contact the city attorney and to contact us. They are unethically contacting represented parties.
Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway has repeatedly said she would provide testimony publicly, but not behind closed doors, as Gableman wants. The U.S. Supreme Court is rejecting a Wisconsin Republican lawsuit looking to throw out a redistricting case brought by Democrats. That decision means that Democrats will still have a chance to fight for the maps they want in federal court after the conservative-controlled Wisconsin Supreme Court issues its ruling, likely next year. The state Supreme Court gave both sides till December 15th to submit their maps. Arguments are planned for January. Last month, Governor Evers vetoed the maps passed by the legislature. We are wrapping up our Call for Action week here with a success story years in the making. Leah Lynchite has the details.
The holidays are all about feeling grateful.
Thank goodness I wasn't home. My husband was home.
But Sarah Shepler doesn't need the season.
Are you a good girl?
For a reason to be thankful.
And had he not been here, Ella would have been trapped.
She's been counting her blessings since 2017 when a fire threatened her family home.
It was absolutely terrifying. Caused a lot of damage. We were out of our homes for a year.
She didn't think it could get worse than the damage done then, until she hired a company to fix the problem. Remediations that ultimately ruined furniture, flooring, her AC unit, all adding up to $20,000.
It was hard. It was scary. We were in a hotel. We had a young child. We have an old dog.
That was back in 2017. Sarah spent years going back and forth with that company trying to get her costs recouped.
It's Steve calling from WISC-TV, Call for Action program.
Until she called for action and our team of volunteers took on her case.
He was able to accomplish in a couple months what we couldn't accomplish in 4 years.
One of our volunteers began working with this family quite a bit and sort of being the intermediary, which is what we do. In the end, what happened was that they recouped $18,000 of that deficit that they had, and they were pretty grateful.
Beyond grateful.
Gratitude. A good reminder of what we all ought to feel this holiday season.
It just really makes a difference that you have somebody who's advocating for you. Everyone needs support in their life, and that's what we do.
Well, if you have an interest in affecting change like our volunteers did in this story, we'd love to have you join the team here at News 3 Now. Volunteers are here every Monday and Wednesday. You can call for action anytime. Call the toll-free number or go to channel3000.com to get involved. Wisconsin DHS is supporting the FDA authorization to give a Pfizer booster dose to 16 and 17-year-olds. The CDC is also recommending the booster to that age group. Now, they say to get one 6 months after getting a second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. Pfizer's booster is the first to get authorization for 16 and 17-year-olds. COVID is here to stay. That's what Dr. Ajay Sethi said today in an interview on Badger Talks. But he believes we can manage it through masking, distancing, and getting vaccinated.
Compared to unvaccinated people, being vaccinated greatly reduces your risk for experiencing severe illness or worse. With new variants, being up to date on boosters is more important than ever.
When it comes to the new variants, he asks for people to be patient and let scientists do their work. A member of the MMSD school board is looking to get back COVID sick days for teachers. Nikki Vandermeulen is the clerk for the board, but says she's speaking for herself on the issue. According to her, about 6 weeks ago, she started getting reports of a staff policy change that teachers had to use their own PTO if they had to quarantine. In October, she asked the board to add COVID sick leave to the agenda, but it wasn't added. She was told that negotiations were ongoing.
Right now, what we are doing is basically saying, well, if you don't have time off, that's not our problem. It is our problem. This is a pandemic. It affects every single individual.
From April to September of 2020, school districts were required by the federal government to provide COVID-specific leave time for staff. MMSD says it continued to provide coverage through September 2021. She hopes to have an open discussion on the matter on Monday's meeting. Coming up, the Midwest High-Speed Rail Association has bold plans for Wisconsin. Plus, the DNR is asking for your help finding black bear dens as the animals hibernate for the winter.
The season for dress and casual boots is here, and Rogan's has your next pair. Savings with 20% off the best name brands. Get the latest trends today and save at Rogan's.
Selection, service, name brands, and the second pair is half price. Visit online at roganshoes.com.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
MENARDS has the tools you need to complete your projects, stocked and ready to go. Known for innovative designs and affordable prices, WISC provides the power and ease you need to get the job done right. Like this WISC 20-volt cordless drill and driver. They're lightweight and includes a lithium-ion battery and charger. This drill and driver kit is $69.99 after rebate. Plus, a MENARDS gift card is always a great gift idea.
When you open a jar of Better Than Bouillon, you open up dinner time to great flavor. Chicken, beef, roasted garlic, sauteed onion. With Better Than Bouillon, the possibilities are endless. Make your everything better with Better Than Bouillon. Don't just make it better.
Are you okay?
Oh, it's just a cold. If you have high blood pressure, a cold is not just a cold. Unlike other cold medicines, Coracetin provides powerful cold relief without raising your blood pressure. Be there for life's best moments with Coracetin, now in sugar-free liquid.
Keep your family warm this season with new winter boots. Rogan's has 20% off the best name brands for mom, dad, and the kids. Save on winter boots for the whole family from Rogan's.
Selection, service, name brands, and the second pair is half price. Visit online at roganshoes.com.
The High Speed Rail Alliance says Wisconsin needs a bold vision for a statewide railroad network. The Alliance thinks the network would create less traffic on highways for travelers. It also says it would make access to O'Hare Airport easier.
The more that we can make travel possible, the more that people will travel and the stronger our economic and family relationships will be. And trains make it easier to travel, safer to travel, more productive.
Right now, the state has one of the nation's most successful passenger rail lines with Amtrak's Hiawatha. The DNR wants you to report any black bear dens you find to support a new study. The dens will be used to come up with estimates of reproductive rates within each bear management zone. That will improve the accuracy of population models for the zones. It's estimated more than 24,000 bears are in Wisconsin. In late winter, DNR staff will collar female black bears and collect data at each den. Ransomware attacks have become a major issue with schools, including in our own area. Still ahead, why these attacks may be more common than we think, and why hackers are targeting the schools. Plus, what can we expect from today's winter storm? I bet Gary knows. He'll have the complete look at the forecast up next.
Attention, South Central Wisconsin homeowners. Now, we started with 50, and now we're looking for 30 homeowners to participate in our home energy assessment program. Mad City Home Improvement wants to assess your home and attic for air leaks and install E-Shield, America's leader in energy reflective technology. E-Shield Attic Energy Barrier also qualifies for a tax credit this year. Now remember, 30 homeowners who participate in our home energy assessment program will receive 60% off installation of E-Shield attic insulation. No interest and no payments for 12 months. Receive a Nest Learning Thermostat with E-Shield purchase, and we'll compensate you for your time. And if you call during this program, you'll receive a $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call now with your zip code and location to qualify, 608-588-8226, or visit madcityinsulation.com.
We all dream of big things, a boat, a second home, or simply a better future for those around us. At the Burrish Group at UBS, we're invested in your dreams, no matter how big or small, because we believe anything can be achieved with the right plan and goals in mind. Because when dreams come true, it's an experience that lasts a lifetime. Call the Burrish Group today.
Important healthcare announcement. If people tell you your TV is too loud, or if listening in some environments has become difficult, we are requesting your participation in a special program called the 30-Day Challenge. Hearing Life Hearing Centers are seeking people with hearing difficulties to evaluate a new digital mini hearing aid now being released. To take part in this event, you must call. Please get a pencil and write down the number below. All people with hearing aids or hearing difficulties are wanted to take part in the 30-Day Challenge, evaluating a new high-tech device that sits discreetly behind your ear. This hearing aid is Bluetooth enabled and is rechargeable. All hearing assessments are performed at no charge for those taking part in the challenge. Participants will try these hearing aids for 30 days. Call the number below and take the Hearing Life 30-Day Challenge.
It's been a little more than a month since the Janesville School District was targeted by a ransomware attack, and it left students without access to online programs for days. Now our I-Team's Nicole Herzog breaks down why these attacks could be more common than you might think.
A student that didn't want his grades out or something.
At first, Janesville parent Neanda Annan chuckled. It didn't seem serious. Then, the notice. Janesville School District asked the FBI and Homeland Security for help.
You know, I hadn't even thought of all of the information that is available.
Experts say K-12 schools have become the leading target for ransomware attacks.
Within about a week, they were bringing in a new internet service.
That means hackers are getting access to our students' most private information, things like their social security numbers or their teachers' bank accounts information.
They're very successful because they lock all of your systems down and sometimes will steal data.
In Wisconsin school districts, the most recent one we know about before Janesville was a February 2020 attack in Shorewood, near Milwaukee. But there's reason to believe these aren't the only ones.
We do not collect that data. There is no requirement that that data be collected, and we do not.
Wisconsin school districts aren't required to report this information internally or publicly, so you may not know when or at all if this happens at your child's school. Thankfully, in Janesville, the school district said in a Facebook post that no student data was accessed or destroyed. So what exactly happens in these attacks?
So what they'll try to do is take the credentials or the system that they're on and they get in first.
A lot of times, hackers want a ransom under threat of publishing this sensitive information online. But cybersecurity analyst Bridget Bartell says that's not a good idea.
Paying the ransom is not usually recommended. That's not usually what is encouraged unless it's like a last resort.
Schools are especially targets right now because the same technology that allowed students to learn virtually in the pandemic is what makes them more vulnerable to these attacks. Wisconsin's Department of Public Instruction works with schools to combat this problem.
The things that we recommend our schools and libraries do is to make sure that they have secure passwords, they're patching equipment, they have up-to-date equipment, and they have really solid backups, including one that is offsite and disconnected from any of their network.
Another type of attack, phishing. When students or staff click on a link that looks like it's reputable, but isn't.
If suddenly you're the recipient of a $500 gift card, if only you click on this link, that's probably not real.
Ultimately, experts say awareness is key. In Madison, Nicole Herzog, News 3 investigates.
Well, now let's check back with Gary for the full forecast. So what are we seeing on the radar, Gary?
A little bit of everything. I'll start out by showing this. This is rare. In December, having a moderate risk of severe thunderstorms south of St. Louis over toward Memphis, even a severe weather threat as far north as the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. This indicates there's a lot of moisture. You need a lot of fuel to create severe thunderstorms, and that's just to our south. Now, right now, the severe thunderstorms are ongoing here. There's at least 4 tornado warnings that I could count over the last few minutes, but we're on the northern side of this storm system. So as that rain moves northward, we still could even see a few thunderstorms into far southern Wisconsin. But in the colder air, the precipitation starts mixing with and changing to snow, and is mainly snow north of the Dells into much of central Wisconsin and Minnesota. Visibilities right now, well, 3/4 of a mile in Marshfield, 1/4 of a mile visibility in heavy snow in La Crosse and in the Twin Cities, a mile visibility in La Crosse. So you can see that that's where the heaviest snow will be, and that's the area that's more likely to just see all snow out of the system. So perhaps as much as 9 inches or more up toward Rhinelander into parts of upper Michigan, 6 to 9 inches through much of central Wisconsin, and then the amounts taper off to the south. The question as far as how much snow we're going to get, at least for the Madison area, is how quick of a changeover takes place late tonight and how long the snow lasts into tomorrow morning. Yesterday it looked like it would linger till noon. Now it looks like the snow might cut off a little bit earlier than that, and that could limit the snowfall amounts. There also is the possibility for some light freezing rain when we make that transition from rain to snow. So possibility exists for at least up to 1/10 of an inch of ice accumulation west of Madison. On future track, you can kind of see where that rain snow line is just north of Madison, and it doesn't move very much through much of the overnight hours until early tomorrow morning. Then the colder air moves in, the rain changes over to pretty much snow for everybody, but it doesn't last too long in the Madison area. It moves out, and then skies already clear out by Saturday afternoon, and by Sunday the winds kick in out of the south, and we're looking for high temperatures up into the lower to middle 40s. Winter storm warnings in effect from South Dakota through Minnesota into Wisconsin and upper Michigan. We have winter weather advisories north of Dane County into parts of central Wisconsin. Look at the difference in temperatures. 65 right now in St. Louis, 62 in Springfield, Illinois, but 35 in Madison and in the 20s out toward the Twin Cities. And on weather track, you can see we're in the northern part of this storm with severe weather to the south and a winter storm on the northern part of the storm, very typical for this time of year. Winter weather advisories in effect until noon tomorrow for Sauk and Columbia counties, Richland and Crawford County and Juneau and Adams counties, those now in effect until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Tonight, rain here in the Madison area, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms mixing with some freezing rain or sleet, and then over to snow by morning. Low temperature dropping to 30. Tomorrow we'll see a period of light snow in the morning, tapering to flurries, and then skies clear out in the afternoon with a high of 34. It'll also be windy too. We could see wind gusts to 40 miles per hour. Again, that rain snow line and temperature is very critical. There's 9 p.m. You can see 32 in the Dells and colder to the north and west, but warm enough for rain and maybe even a few thunderstorms in Madison and areas to the south and east. By midnight, the colder air starts to move southward, and by early tomorrow morning, temperatures are right around freezing. The rain changes over to snow in Madison and then moves on through, so by 10 a.m. the snow is probably winding down, and that will limit the snowfall accumulations, at least in the Madison area. And then we clear out in the afternoon. Again, snowfall amounts 1 to maybe as much as 2 or 3 inches, northern portions of Dane County, 3 to 6 inches up toward the Dells, and heavier amounts up into central Wisconsin, and again some light icing accumulations possible as well. Then that quick warm up. By Wednesday, that high of 60 would break the record by 8 degrees, and temperatures cool off at the end of next week.
And coming up in sports, the Badger women skated out to an early lead at Bemidji State. How a big first period got Wisconsin back on track. Next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
My utility bills have dropped almost in half.
Mad City Home Improvement is looking for 30 Wisconsin homeowners to participate in our Home Energy Assessment Program. Receive 60% off installation of E-Shield thermal reflective attic insulation. And listen to this, no interest and no payments for 12 months. Receive a Nest Learning thermostat with purchase. And if you call during this program, a $50 Amazon gift card with estimate.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on.
If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
I was a Navy submariner for over 20 years. I spent a large portion of my life underwater. Service is about putting your country before yourself. But Senator Ron Johnson uses his office to serve himself. Ron Johnson passed a special tax break that benefited his family's business, then cashed out of the company for $5 million. Ron Johnson has doubled his wealth since he's been elected. That's not what service is about. Tell Ron Johnson to stop voting for tax laws that benefit himself.
Things to do this week. You pour your heart into everything you do, which is a lot. So take care of that heart with Lipton. Because sipping on unsweetened Lipton can help support a healthy heart. Lipton. Stop chugging, start sipping.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team advocates for you, asking the right questions.
Yeah. You hope to make that right.
And getting results.
They sent a water heater the next day after you made the call.
Call for Action, only on News 3 Now.
The first time the Wisconsin women skated against Bemidji State this season, they pelted the Beaver goalie with 56 shots, and not one of them went in. The game ended in a tie, and that didn't sit well with the Badgers. So all week long, they were talking about starting this series off strong, and they spoke it into existence. First period was a good one for the Badgers. McKenna Webster dangles and then goes 5-hole to put Wisconsin on the board. And then, not even 5 minutes later, Darryl Watts rips one into the back of the net. The Badgers scored 4 goals in the first period. They go on to win 5-1 the final. Saturday is round 3 between the Badgers and the Gophers on the volleyball court. The first 2 went Wisconsin's way by a sweep at the Fieldhouse and then a 5-set thriller in Minneapolis. But there's a lot more on the line tomorrow. Win, and UW is headed to the Final Four for the 3rd straight season. Now, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year, but the Badgers, they're expecting a 12-round fight with the Gophers.
I'm expecting a game that goes to 5 extra points every set, because that's just the kind of team that they are, and it's going to be a battle, but it's going to be a really fun one, so I'm looking forward to it.
Both teams have had great seasons. Both teams have thoroughbreds on their rosters, and it should just be incredibly entertaining, and we're looking forward to it.
The NFL's oldest rivalry returns to Lambeau Sunday night when the Packers host the Bears. And coming off their bye week, Green Bay is gearing up for a stretch run. With 5 games to play in the regular season, the Packers have goals to cross off. Winning the division is first, then locking up the #1 seed in the NFC. That happens by closing out the year with 5 big wins.
We're just trying to go run the table the same. We only got 5 games left, so at this point, it's just finishing out. You just got to go finish strong. We've been in this position multiple times as a team.
December football, that's when I feel like it turns into smash mouth football. Who shows who's really more physical, who wants it more, and just willing to get down and dirty.
More good news from Lambeau. Aaron Rodgers returned to practice for the first time since November 19th as the Packers QB continues to make progress with his injured toe. But practice or no practice, Gary, Rodgers has said all along he's not going to miss a game because of that toe.
Certainly not a Bears game, that's for sure. Winter weather advisories in effect north of Dane County and the Wisconsin River into tomorrow morning.
Thanks for spending this time with us, everyone. We'll see you back here at 10.